Much work has been published regarding the evolution of Chinese-Malaysian entrepreneurship from British colonial rule to post-new economic policy told about the success of Chinese capitalism in East and Southeast Asia. Based on the article, the aim of the article is fourfold. First, to trace the evolution of Malaysian and Chinese business from the colonial era to the present one of global capitalism. Second, to explain how they were transformed into intra-ethnic and Chinese family-based business to inter-ethnic and plural form of enterprise. Third, to describe how Chinese enterprise were modernized and how they adapt to the new market force. And fourth, to describe how Chinese entrepreneurs responded to the increasing challenge of the global economy.
The Malaysian government implemented the new economic policy start in 1971 following the Commonwealth of 30 May 1969, with the primary aim of restructuring society to reduce and eventually eliminate the identification of race with economic function. Its ultimate goal also was to facilitate the emergence of a full-fledged Malay entrepreneurial community within one generation, and to achieve a 30% mutual ownership of the corporate sector by 1990. Following all of this accordance with the affirmative action policy, ethnic quotas were introduced. As a result, Bumiputras are given priority when it comes to the awarding of government contracts, tenders, loans, and credit. In 1970, just prior to the implementation of the NEP, the presence of Chinese capital in the economy in Peninsular Malaysia was clearly shown. Therefore, we can see in terms of the capital that was committed and the range of activities involved, the position of the Chinese was certainly superior to their Malay and Indian counterparts. Besides that, one of the primary objectives of the NEP was to restructure the economy to improve the equality distribution of capital ownership and participation in the economy, as Bumiputra interests, mostly linked to entire activities, occupy an increasingly important role in the economy. Chinese business of all sizes were challenged and trying to reposition themselves in response to the NEP and the changing economic climate. The NEP officially ended in 1990 and was replaced by the National Development Plan, which was implemented to further pursue to an achieved objective of the NEP. Since for more than 3 decades, China's companies sought to participate in government projects by incorporating Bumiputra's business partners to accommodate policy change. Lastly, one of the lasting effects of this political and economic scenario was the weakening of the old intra-ethnic and family-based Chinese business and the formation of inter-ethnic ones involving Bumiputra partners.
The issues discussed in this article deal with the perceptive remarks about power. The policy implemented by a government will be determine the country's economy. In this context, how the government policy has control over Chinese business. Furthermore, new economic policy NEP divide economy based on ethnicity. Ethnic Malays and others are also involved in all sectors. During British Colonial, the Chinese were involved in business and Malay in agriculture. The institution determined the economy of community.
In conclusion, we can see the socio-economic and political conditions play a very important role in the transformation process that takes place in Chinese entrepreneurship in Malaysia. Chinese entrepreneurs in Malaysia have taken advantage of the economic opportunities available by using all their skills and intelligence to further expand their business network. In fact, a generation of Chinese immigrants also responded to challenges very differently from the pioneers of the Western Industrial Revolution. It is because the pattern of entrepreneurial development is determined by political and socio-cultural factors.